I saw Bernie already like putting his hand on him. I'm like, be careful, because Bernie will say stuff
he
that
will.
you gonna have to defend.
Correct or not, or distance yourself from, as Obama
Right,
distanced
exactly.
himself
Yes.
from Jeremiah Wright because he knew, oh shoot, they don't. This is terrible. Matter of fact, I have a clip from Bernie Sanders' racial justice director, and I've had some very strong words for Bernie Sanders on these airwaves, especially when he was running, because he's very disrespectful and he talks down to black people as if, and you live in a state that's 94% white. Like, knock it the F off. You're from Brooklyn, but you ain't around us.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back, and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not bend. We will survive.
All right. So Zohran Mamdani is the presumptive nominee for the Democratic Party in November. Eric Adams is running as an independent today. I saw all of these videos of people lined up to celebrate Eric Adams, and I was like, how much did they get paid? But it was a lot of older black people, and I think that's going to be a wild card. Zohran, don't get too cocky with all of the accolades, because there's a silent majority
Yes.
that's sitting, waiting, and they don't care how horrible Eric Adams is, apparently. And I live in Jersey, so I don't have a vote, but I'm like, oh, there's a subtext, there's another story going on.
He got to be careful, because one, his victory is going to be seen as a victory for like socialism, for super progressive, uber liberal people. And I don't mind that. That's awesome. Good for everybody. We need representation of all types of people, especially within the Democratic Party. But he has to be careful, because there's a third rail amongst that demographic that really loves to chastise black people, who are the backbone of the Democratic Party. And then they wonder why they lose and why they getting these bigger, broader, because like winning the primary is dope. But when you get out into everybody and Republicans are attacking you now, where they're not holding back anymore, and then you have this urge, I'll just call it an urge, to be like, and also these black people, let me tell you what's wrong with them. It's like, don't do that, because you're going to need that black vote. Maybe you won't get them all, but you need enough to win. And I would like to see the brother win of those three choices: a Republican, Eric Adams, Republican light to me at minimum, and then him, then I hope you win. So just don't. I saw Bernie already like putting his hand on him. I'm like, be careful, because Bernie will say stuff that you gonna have to defend.
Correct or not, or distance yourself from, as Obama distanced himself from Jeremiah Wright, because he knew, oh shoot, they don't. This is terrible. Matter of fact, I have a clip from Bernie Sanders' racial justice director, and I've had some very strong words for Bernie Sanders on these airwaves, especially when he was running, because he's very disrespectful and he talks down to black people as if, and you live in a state that's 94% white. Like, knock it the F off. You're from Brooklyn, but you ain't around us. And whatever little pepper and you marched with King before any of us were born, good. That's nice. This is a new day. Wake the F up. And if you can't get out of your old ass way in terms of the way that you think, then shut your mouth. Shut your mouth, because you're going to cost this man the election running your mouth. You're going to cost him the election. I agree with you.
And that the fact that we keep going back to March with King, that means you ain't been doing enough stuff over the last 50 years. Because you should be able to pull something. I March with Black Lives Matter should be like the last, like, oh, okay, that was 8 years ago. I see you, Bernie, like 70 years ago, 50, 60 years ago. Hey, man, we appreciate you. But we don't do credit checks back here. We not like, look at this old 70s credit. No, you got to have some new stuff.
Come on. So Teslin Figaro, she was Bernie Sanders' racial justice director. She was talking about how Bernie Sanders struggles with race. And we're bringing this up because, again, November is around the corner. Deliver this message to them, because apparently they ain't trying to come on black media either. This being the biggest black media platform you can find anywhere, Urban View, period. More than all of the cable news networks combined, we have listeners, and they show up and they canvass and they poll work. Stop playing in our faces. Fine, don't come. We're still going to always vote our interests. But don't be disrespectful, because it could cost you. Because even if we sit home, there's going to be a whole lot of people voting for this disaster that's Eric Adams, because at least he's not publicly thumbing his nose at black people. Matter of fact, before I played Teslin Figaro, what's his name? Don Lemon was out in the streets doing what Don Lemon does, which is collect clicks and algorithms for his platform so he can make money. Y'all can at me on that too. Dare you to call up. But play the Don Lemon. He's in this line.
Don Lemon Channel, Elimination on the Scene. Something is happening here at City Hall today, and we got some folks out here. How are you? Why are you here?
I'm here to see Eric Adams.
Yes, you support him?
Yes.
Yes? What about you, ma'am?
Hi.
Hi, how are you? Why are you here?
Because he's a man of God, and that's what lured me in. Yes, and I'm here to support him. Yes.
All right. Yes. Thank you. Let's go talk to some other people. Hi, guys. How are you? Why are you guys here today?
To support Mayor Adams, of course. Oh, yes. And to see you. Look at that.
Listen, I just saw you last night. I am a movie producer, and of course, as a woman down here from the Caribbean, I'm excited, and I know Mr. Adams for about 10 years.
Baby, that line was around the corner. It was around the neck. Hoo-wah, got them all. It was a long-ass line. I don't know if the people were paid, but it was people of a certain demographic that always vote. They will always show up.
Yeah.
That demographic will always show up. These young folk, maybe they'll show up, maybe they won't. You can't depend. You cannot stake your claim on young people. I'm loving the energy, but the people that Don Lemon was talking to in that line, they're going to show up in November. I promise you.
Yeah.
Be very careful. Be very careful out there.
Eric Adams going to be in the church and he going to be in the club. Like, he going to get both of them demographics. So you got to be careful measuring your opponent if you're running against them. But yeah, the other thing too is I think this primary kind of puts a hole in some of the stuff that we've heard from Bernie Sanders, that we've heard from progressive people that have been always like, the Democratic Party is they're sabotaging. Apparently, if you turn out, you can win.
Correct.
So I don't really want to hear nothing else. Like, I hear what y'all saying about, well, look at who endorsed who and stuff. It don't matter. We, the people, at least with the Democratic Party, I can't speak for Republicans, we still have all the power. If we decide it's going to be one way, it will be that way. It's never stolen. It's why I don't mess with Bernie at the end of the day is he gives in to the grievance of it was rigged against me. No, you lost and you don't have to lose. That's your choice to lose. You don't want to go down south. You don't want to mess with black people. You're going to always lose when we get to the primaries in the South. And that's a huge part of the turnout.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, like the primaries of the Democratic Party, it go through the South.
Correct.
Correct. Buddy, what are you doing? Just get down here, go to some churches, and then 4 years later, you'll reap the benefits. That you don't want to do it. Okay, you too good for it. Young progressives that's coming up, don't be like Bernie. Correct. Make that inroads to us so that you don't got to go through this, because I would like to see this brother win, and I just don't want to see him start attacking, demagoguing the black vote, because I might not get all of it. And now it's a self-fulfilling prophecy when you lose, and it's going to be these low information black people don't want me to win, instead of being like, I didn't do my due diligence and reach out to that community.
Correct. That part. And again, you ain't got to come here, but you got to go to his anyway. He did go to Al Sharpton. I saw that. He's in the streets, and I want him to win as well, just for the very reason I want to see if he can get some of these things done. It would be nice to see rent stabilized and people getting housed and people with children being taken care of. I would love to see the minimum wage raised in New York. I would love to see his plans enacted, or at least push the people empowered to make something. I want him to win. At the same time, we're saying something right now, and y'all don't have to like it, but we're not here trying to kneecap this man. And
this is how a lot of people will learn. If he wins, there's a group of people who haven't really been tapped into things who will now be like, because that's how I learned. I was like, I found some politician or some cause that I was like, well, what? How you get this to be a law? And now you learn it. And once you learn something like that, you become a voter for life. You become activated for life. You become in tune to what's happening in your country for life. So hopefully people like him can bring in an influx of people. But yeah, you got to walk that line carefully.
And we need different people engaged, because there are whole swaths of the country that just they don't feel seen.
Yes.
And this young man has tapped into that, and I love seeing it. So let me play Teslin Figaro, what she said about Bernie Sanders. Play it, Smith.
Bernie Sanders' demographic, and I'm just going to be honest, the progressive demographic, the Rainbow Coalition, is white liberals. Working on that campaign, I'm just going to be straight up with you. You know, I'm very clear about my position with Bernie Sanders. He is talking to a very progressive, white-ran movement. He struggles with dealing with race. I'm saying it as his former racial justice director. The hood don't know who the oligarchy is. How do you say it?
Fighting oligarchy.
They don't even know what the hell you're talking about. I mean, they don't. When the people are talking about neoliberal, they don't know what you're talking about.
I love that. I love it. She's right.
Yeah.
She's right.
She's spitting though, but like, it's to this point, it's a feature. He's been around too long for me to think this is an accident that just keeps happening. He's been critiqued too long. When he ran for president in 2016, this was the thing that made him lose, in my opinion. Correct. And now here we are, it's 2025, and he's going on Andrew Schultz's podcast talking about the election being rigged against him or something. It's like, bro, it's a non-starter for me. And I always was mad at him because I always felt like he, of all the politicians, had the easiest connection to black people and white populism at the same time.
Yes.
When we had the subprime lending thing, you remember that? So he's mad at Wall Street, which white people are always ready to get mad at some rich people. Like, no, shout out to them for that. That's good. But I'm like, get the black people on board. Who was getting them loans? Who were they
targeting?
To get the loans? Right. Yes. They targeted us. They disenfranchised us. They strapped us with stuff they knew we couldn't pay, knew that we didn't necessarily have the financial savvy to understand like what y'all are strapping people in. And some of them straight up malfeasance, lied, just forged signatures on applications. And meanwhile, instead of him tripling down on that and explaining that connection that get us all on the same page, he let people be like, they should have known they couldn't afford that house. He let that be a vibe. And it's like, that's what separates us, because as soon as they can demagogue us and be like, nope, it only happened to black people because black people are stupid or bad or greedy or whatever, it just takes us out the coalition as opposed to us building one. And that was 10 years ago. It's no excuse.
Yeah. Well, Mamdani, from his rap video with Lupita Nyong'o to, I mean, like his middle name being Kwame after Kwame Nkrumah from Ghana, like there's a connection there that Bernie doesn't have, and he's young, so True. There's also that. So I'm just praying. I'm praying that somebody gets in his ear. I remember having a conversation with Simone D. Sanders during that, when she was his press secretary, and I said, "Can you please tell him to stop talking down to black people?" She said, "I've been trying. Girl, I've been trying." I said, because it's disrespectful, and especially if you're going to come to Urban View, which he did. Did he come? Mm-hmm. I think he did come. I can't remember now. I know we invited him. My memory sucks, but that was one of the things, you're talking down to people who are the demographic that can get you elected. These dummy.
We're ready. We're prepared. Do not give in to fear. We are fearless. This is not the time to be afraid. This is a time to stand up and fight back and to resist any temptation for them to divide us. We're in this together. The rule of law is on our side. We will not give in, not give up. We will not capitulate. We will not bow. We will not beg.